I think we have created this doctrine out of propaganda that it's so hard. And then now the pressure comes in and you've got them and now they're precious and you adore them and they become these little gods.
Yeah.
Well, hello again and welcome to another, what is it called, Stephanie?
The Family Business with the Alessis.
Got to make sure I get that right.
Yes.
Dad's not on this podcast today.
Nope.
It's you and me.
Thank God.
Oh, what? He's listening, though. You know that, right? He heard all that.
I know.
It's not going to get edited.
Let him hear it. Just kidding.
No, this is a great topic because we're going to be talking about a subject even more now. I had a great podcast with Lauren about this subject, and now to have it with you, who now you are one, I think this is going to be very, very informative for our listeners who are raising children.
Yes.
It's a difficult day to raise kids in.
Yes, it is.
And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the old school type of parenting versus the
new school,
new generation. And Lauren's was very informative from her clinical
background,
mental health counseling background that she has, and working with students every day at a Christian school and what she's encountering. But, you know, she made a statement in the podcast. She said, I'm not a mom yet, and that she knows when the day she is, a flip will get switched and you can see things that you never saw before, which has happened to you in the last year.
Yeah.
So that flip was switched and you have a beautiful 8, almost 9 month.
Yeah, 9 months and 2 days. 9 months in 2 days.
In 2 days, she'll be 9 months.
Yeah.
Our beautiful little Gianna.
Yes.
And she is the light of all of our lives.
Yes.
Which is good and bad. We already see how much we've spoiled her and we don't care.
She's ruined from love.
We have ruined her with our love.
Yes.
She's destroyed.
Irreversible.
Exactly. And your brother and Rochelle are about to have a baby in a few months. So we're moving into a season of the grandparents versus the parents and the different styles of parenting and the different expectations. And so we're going to talk about that. So first of all, let me ask you, what is it like being a new mom?
It's the best in the world. I kind of don't remember my life before 9 months or 9 months ago. I can't believe that this little girl has been in my life for only 9 months.
Yeah.
That is something I'm trying to wrap my head around because I feel like I've known her my whole life.
That's crazy.
Like she was just with me.
Yeah.
And then to think that I remember those days when I was single and so far from marriage and just thinking, man, what's my baby going to look like? What are my kids going to be like?
I know.
And then I'm here and she's there. And then I can't be, you said it in one of your sermons, how you recounted a story of me giving birth to Gianna. And I can't believe I did that.
I know.
I can't believe I carried a child for 9 months and birthed her out of my body. I can't believe it's happening. I can't believe that I'm teaching another human how to eat.
That's crazy right there.
And how to speak words. I love it. My personality absolutely loves that I get a blank page of a human.
Right.
And I can form her to be the perfect, not the perfect human, but to be the human I think humans should be.
And herein lies the problem, ladies and gentlemen.
I get to form my own creature. But at the same time, now her personality is coming out and I'm like, oh my gosh, half of you's already formed.
Yes.
That's not cool, God. What the heck? That's not, no.
Why can't I change
form
that?
her.
I know it.
But it's really awesome.
Yeah.
When you just put the pressure aside and you laugh at everything, but you are intentional with everything, I love it. It is just a blast. I think it's also really cool to do with my husband, Chris. He's so much fun with this. And
he's a great dad.
He's really, really good with her.
He is.
He's great with her. And it's fun to see what comes out of our marriage too.
Yeah. We kind of call you guys, I wouldn't say you're the hippie parents, but you're definitely the laid back parents.
Very laid back.
Very laid back. It makes it so easy for me and Dad. And I know Chris's mom and dad, because you guys aren't hovering and she can't have that. She can't have, be careful. There's no rules. You don't ever, when you drop her off to us, if we get to keep her, As long as we have milk, you trust me to feed her whatever
Have
I
fun with it.
think, and it's really nice not to have those pressures.
Yeah.
I know that there are some grandparents that will say, and I'm new to this too, me and Dad are new to this grandparent game.
Yeah.
So you get all the different advice, even on this level from other grandparents.
Man.
I heard one of the grandparents told me, when they get dropped off at our house and we get the list of rules from the parents, we don't listen to any of those. We do whatever we want to do. And I would say we try to find a
Happy medium.
middle ground.
Yeah.
But you guys make it easy. You,
Yeah.
Mom and Dad, whatever you guys want to do, you raise 4 kids and they all
Yeah.
survived and they're all doing well. So whatever you guys think is right. And it's just such an incredible season for me and Dad.
Yeah.
Because when people would say, oh, you're going to be a grandma, I would feel like they said it almost facetiously. And I would go, I don't mind being a grandma, but the way you say it sounds awful. And then the minute I saw her, I thought, if having her means I get to be called grandma, I'll be called granny.
Yeah, you don't care.
I don't care what you call me.
It's her, what she does.
If I get to have her in my life, if this is my daughter's daughter, that's part of our family, you call me whatever you want to call me.
Yeah.
And now I get it.
Yeah.
Even for me, that switch.
Yeah.
And me and Dad, that switch turned on. People have told us forever, you're going to love your grandkids way more than you ever loved your own kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not possible. It kind of is. It's a different love.
Yeah.
But it is the most extraordinary love because I just thank God every day, and I'm not going to cry, but I thank God every day that I get to go back through childhood again.
I know, right?
I get to help because that was the most beautiful season of my life.
Yeah.
When you guys grow up and you're out of the house, you don't really need us. But I say this all the time. We've developed superpowers.
I know.
We have parent superpowers and they're dormant.
Yeah.
They don't get to be used anymore because we don't have kids.
Mm.
So the Lord is like he said, let me give you a plan that you're going to love. I'm going to let you do it again, but you get to sleep 8 hours every night and you don't have to wake up in the middle of the night and you have money now and you can enjoy it and you know how this is going to turn out.
Man.
And my mom, who's 81, and grandmommy, Dad's mom,
Crazy.
They're enjoying their great-grandchildren.
And they're walking, holding the babies. It's crazy. And what's funny,
incredible.
It's funny because I believe I'm actually living the best days.
Yeah.
Like, you get to see your baby have a baby, but I get to have my own baby.
Right.
And I get to take her home with me. And I get to have her with me 24/7. So
which is very selfish of you, but that's another podcast.
But my point is like, who gets it better? We don't know, but it all feels like we're living the best days of our lives. And obviously logistically, you are living the best days because you've experienced my days.
Right.
And you're still saying, oh my gosh, it gets better.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was talking, I think I overheard our friend Lewis, he was telling Dad, like, life gets better, but I really believe I'm living the best days.
Yeah.
And it's so true. Like,
yes.
It's easy. It's very, very easy to get bogged down in the things you had to let go of when you had children, especially if you took a little bit of time to have kids.
Right.
It's so easy to get stuck in the, oh crap, I miss those old days where I didn't have to worry about the time when I was out with my friends.
Sure.
I can go to Flanagan's till midnight if I wanted to.
I know.
I could go on a girls' trip at the drop of a hat for 3 days, spend all my money on a European trip.
I know.
And even with my husband, we feel that way. It's like, man, we went to Spain and we did whatever we wanted. We didn't have to worry about a budget. And it's so easy to get caught up in that loop. But no one else gets to take the cutest baby home and bathe them every night.
I know, it's true.
Except for you.
Yeah. Like, and wake up to that sunshine face.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
No one gets to do that except you. Like no one gets to hear them laugh for the first time. No one gets to see them get like goofy and do a whole new face.
Sure.
No one gets to do that except you.
Right.
So
it's way better than a trip to Europe.
Oh,
with your
so
single
much
friends.
better. So much better.
And the truth is when just sidebar for all the singles listening, whatever season you're in, should be the best season you've
of
ever
your
had.
life. It's true.
Because it's how you look at it. If you're single, embrace that. If you don't have your mate yet, be glad.
Yeah.
Because you're working on you, he's working on him, or vice versa. And when you meet, you'll be more prepared for marriage.
Yeah.
Don't feel like because I don't have said husband and baby, this is the worst season. No. actually, remember, you've got a young couple with a baby that can't go,
Yeah.
wishing they could.
Yeah.
So we could fall into that loop and be miserable at every season we're in. But we have to
Yes.
embrace every season. I could say, I'm a grandma now, I'm old, and now nobody cares.
Mm.
I just did a podcast with Dad. I'm not in the way. Let me say it right. I'm not in the way. I'm in the way. I could say
I
I'm
get
in the
it.
way. I hate the
I'm
season.
yeah.
And I'm in the way of my kids. Or you can flip it and say, no, I've learned some things. I
I'm
get to
in the
share what
way.
I'm in the way.
Yeah.
And so whatever season you're in
That's good.
should be the best season of your life.
Yeah. And I would even say for couples that haven't had kids yet and they're still struggling to have kids and you're a couple years married now and you're trying to figure out what the heck, where's my children? I know that is so hard to do. It's so much easier said than done. But even embrace that season alone with your
Yes,
spouse.
Stephanie. Yes.
Because me and Chris had a different experience. We were married for 2 months and got pregnant.
Right.
And even though it's the best blessing in the world, I do sometimes wish we had those at least a good year alone.
Some time to adjust. Yes.
Which we technically we were alone because we had to wait 9 months to have Gia. But you felt like there was a countdown the entire 9 months.
Absolutely. There was.
And
Yeah.
you felt like, man, we only have so much time to do stuff. And every once in a while I'm like, man, that season, even though it was brief, our alone time in our tiny little apartment, just trying to figure out our marriage, learn
Yes.
about each other,
Yeah.
that was some of the sweetest days with each other. And they got sweeter with the kid. They got
Yeah.
sweeter. But even if you're in a season where you're not having children yet, embrace that with your spouse. Go on vacations, like
Enjoy it.
Enjoy
Don't
it,
spend the
stay
whole
up
time in the
late.
doctor's office trying to
No.
get pregnant.
and don't argue about it. Don't turn it into something that divides you. Turn it into something that bonds you.
That's right.
Stay up late watching TV.
That's
Eat
it.
whatever the heck you want to eat.
That's it.
Hang out with friends. Go make friends. Go
It's
on
true.
friend trips. And enjoy that season as well, because that's precious for a marriage.
It is. And the parental season is a long one.
Yeah. Once it starts, it
Doesn't stop. There's a lot of expectation. It becomes about the kids. So if you don't intentionalize really developing the friendship in the marriage
Yeah.
and that strong relationship, it does become about the kids so fast. And then you look at each other and the kids are gone and you're like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
But we've covered all that in podcasts too.
Yeah.
We have a lot of that. We try on this podcast, Stephanie, we really try to hit the pitfalls
Yeah.
that you can easily fall into because none of us are perfect. Life is hard.
Yes, it is.
It's not an easy road all the time. And when we're not resourced with information, because some people don't come from parents who really taught them the skills of how to handle the seasons. And some people don't even look at life
Mhm.
and say it's in seasons, even though we hear that. We see graphics that post that,
Mhm.
about these are seasons. They really, really are.
Yeah.
They pass. They come and they go. Another season's coming. Embrace the season you're in and embrace it well.
Yeah.
And be aware, even with Gianna right now, she's 9 months old. And one of the things that Dad said to me the other night that was so true, he said, I'm almost sad. I feel like she just got here and she's already getting so
know.
big.
No, you can't even think about it.
It's
Makes me cry.
terrible how fast
It goes.
so it's like the longest, fastest experience of your life. The days are long, but the years are short.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And you know what stinks, Mom, is a lot of those days are clouded by our hormones. Speaking to
Yeah.
women specifically,
it's true.
it's tough because there were so many days that I feel I just got stuck in my thoughts and I missed a whole day of Gia time
Yeah.
as an infant, but I was postpartum. And
Right.
it was like I was in a haze of hormones. And I wish I could say, oh, well, just get your mind out of it. Like, be positive. But it is hard. Talk about a pitfall. Some girls can't get out of that.
They can't.
They can't get out of it. And thank God my hormones were strong, but I didn't deal with any postpartum depression. I definitely had the baby blues afterwards.
Yeah.
The normal stuff. But some women go through that and it is a pitfall.
And if
And
if
you
they do,
lose some days.
they need to get help. There's medication for that because that's a legit problem. And then as you move on from that, you you and Chris have been talking about this a lot with me and Dad, the expectation of schooling and what's next. And here you
Yeah.
are, you've got a baby, a brand new baby, and already the conversation that you have with some of your friends is school. It's like,
Yeah.
why are we talking about this now? Can we
Yeah.
just play with her toys on the floor?
Yeah.
Why are we so caught up about the status symbol of education in our kids?
Yeah.
And when do they start? And it's funny because in the same week, you called me and asked me a question
Yeah.
that the other night your brother asked me the exact same question in the same form.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are we talking about? Why is this coming up?
Yeah. Well, it is with this generation, there's so much pressure on everything that we do. It's like, can we just get a huge billboard everywhere that says relax? Just relax. Stop
So good.
chasing. Who are you
Yes.
trying to compete with?
Yes.
Do you really want to have the smartest kid in the world? Because then he's going to be smarter than you.
I know.
And I don't want that. I don't want my child to be smarter than me.
No. And what does that even mean? I mean, what
That's
are these superhumans that we're giving birth to now?
I don't understand the pressure to put a child into school so soon
Yeah.
when it is scientifically proven that for the first 5 years of their life, they are just trying to become.
Yeah.
Forget about math, forget
Yes.
about English. They're trying to become their personality. And they're absorbing what mom's doing, what dad's doing, what grandparents are doing, what their friends are doing, what their aunts and uncles are doing. That's all. Oh, and their brothers and sisters. They're just absorbing social things.
Right.
And daily lessons that you're teaching them,
Yes.
along with potty training, the food that they're eating, and their normal day to day. And then to pressure them with, well, you've got to have a social life.
Right.
So I need to put you in school. And you have to learn, you have to remember the phone number, you have to do this. It's like, relax.
Yes.
They will get it. There is plenty of time to teach them these things. There's plenty of time. Even the baby-led weaning stuff,
Oh, yes.
as opposed to purely purees. Oh my gosh. I
the
was like,
pressure.
are we seriously going to be arguing over how to feed my child? Like, can I just give her a banana and
That's so
relax? Like, can I just make her a puree and not feel guilty that I'm not teaching her how to sit at the dinner table and have a dinner with me?
Right,
like,
right.
let's just chill. And it's really a lot of pressure. I can't tell you what it comes from. Maybe it is social media. Maybe it is.
I have a theory.
Maybe it is this disappointment in our generation. I don't
Right.
know, but what's your theory?
I have a theory that we pass on the things that we hear that aren't really true. I think that our culture in the last probably 25, 30 years has been having babies is hard.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is because of the abortion scandal, which
That's very good.
is horrible.
Yeah.
You know, that it's
Propaganda.
so hard to have a big propaganda.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah.
It's propaganda.
Yeah.
And we believe it, and it's become our basic building block of truth.
That's true.
And it's not true at all.
Yeah.
So the parents that say, pre-K, I'm not teaching my kids pre-K. They're going to start in kindergarten like everybody else, are shamed for it. My daughter's 3 years old. She needs school. No, she's active.
Yeah.
And maybe that parent doesn't know how to deal with a hyperactive kid.
Yeah.
And so they just default to putting them in school.
Yeah.
But I do think we have oversold
Yeah.
a philosophy that isn't true. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Having a baby, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
When did it become dangerous? For thousands of years, women had babies
9 kids, 10 kids.
in the field
Yeah.
without anything, without any
Yeah.
medical help.
Yeah.
And of course, that was dangerous. They lost children. Obviously, that was scary. I'm grateful for medical help
Yeah.
nowadays. Thank God.
Yeah.
But I think we have created this doctrine out of propaganda
Yeah.
that it's so hard. And then now the pressure comes in and you've got them and now they're precious and you adore them and they become these little gods
Yeah.
that have to have this journey in life and they have to have this experience. Jerry Seinfeld said something that was so true. He said, our parents who were of the generation of the Depression, where they lost everything, they wanted to make sure that their kids knew they'd have a roof over their head and they'd have shoes on their feet. Then the generation of those that are boomers that are in their 60s, they took it so far as not only will my kids have a pair of shoes, they're going to have almost a Disney-like childhood.
Yeah.
It's a way to get as far away from suffering
Yeah.
as we possibly can into the land of self-promotion
Mm.
and status, pushing our kids to a place that they don't benefit in the long run.
It's so funny because that generation would say that I'm going to bless them with all of the technical blessings that I can give them a phone, let me give them a computer, let me give them an iPad so I can bless my child. And now my generation is saying, I want my child to have a healthy life. No phone,
Right.
no iPad.
Isn't that crazy?
I want to go live on a farm. I want
No
to have a
screen
bunch of
time.
animals.
Yes.
And
It's coming back.
It's coming back.
To how life was 100 years ago, but with more money, with filters on your camera, and with really cool equipment.
Yeah.
But still, it's definitely something parents are going, the simple life is the best life.
Yeah.
The pressure-free life. And
Yeah.
even homeschooling. We've done a whole thing on homeschooling. We believe in homeschooling. I wasn't always a believer in a homeschooling environment. I am now. I don't think you should start a 3-year-old
So
with pressure.
early. Yeah.
I think they should be running around and playing in the dirt. I think
Yeah.
that's super good for them
Yeah.
to feel textures and understand. I mean, I remember I was making mud pies till I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And we were really developing the creative side and the fact that our parents would let us do a lot of make-believe
Yeah.
and fun. And our brains were, I think there's a lot of release there. There's a lot of
Yeah.
stress that's relieved in the land of make-believe and fun and just being outside till it got dark.
Yeah.
Yes, the world has changed, but I think we should not now interject this lifestyle for our kids that we're already seeing
Yeah.
so much anxiety, so much
anxiety.
stress,
Yeah.
so much pressure on a kid. For what?
And I think what I've learned in just my short time of parenting is whenever I reach this point of whenever I reach a point of worry and of stress, becoming anxious because of Gianna's future, that's not normal.
Right.
That's not normal. That's not a God idea. God is not going to come and stress you out about your child's future.
That's right.
That is a thought
That's
from the
really
enemy.
good. Yeah.
That will
absolutely.
never be a thought that God gives you.
No.
God says your quiver will be full.
Yes.
That's literally the promises of God. So anything different from that is a thought from the enemy. And whenever those thoughts come up in my mind, I have to tell myself, be honest,
Yeah.
and tell somebody and talk about it. Talk about it with my husband. Chris, I'm stressed out. I don't know why I'm stressed out. And I'm thinking too much about how I should be feeding her. And he tells me, well, relax, chill. I go and I talk to you. I talk to other moms.
you do.
I ask other moms, how are you doing? Turns out they're failing as much as I am. And we're all in the same boat.
That's
Our
right.
children aren't taking the spoon. They
It's
don't
true.
like this food.
Yes.
These other women are feeding their children 100 foods in 100 days. And Gianna's only had mozzarella cheese
Right,
for
right.
3 days. And it's giving her a skin rash. And I need to take her off dairy.
Yes.
I need to stop eating pizza because it's giving her a rash. But I really just want pizza.
Yeah.
And it's just constant. And then if I'm feeling like super stressed out, I just have to tell myself, pause and go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Go talk to someone about the reality behind raising a baby. It's difficult, but also it's not going to be picture perfect.
No.
And babies are crazy. Kids are crazy. They get a fever from one little cough that a kid had.
Yeah.
Then the next, finally that fever's done. They're at 103 fever for
Yes.
5 days straight. That's death.
I know.
And then
Scary.
they live, they're
Yeah.
fine. And then the week after, they break out in a rash from the fever.
Right.
So it is craziness to raise one child, and then it's craziness to raise 3, 4, 5 kids. But that is the norm.
Right.
That is raising kids. That's the beauty of it. Embrace the crazy and talk about it with your friends. Go on mom dates and talk. Talk to your mom. Ask your mom for help. Ask your parents for help. That's where I have to tell myself, like, okay, if I'm reaching a point where I'm getting way too swept up into one particular topic with my child, I need to talk to somebody and I
Yeah.
need to laugh about it.
Yeah.
Because this isn't normal. This isn't what parenting should be like.
No.
We need to make this fun. We need to make this enjoyable.
Because that stress is passed on to your child and they feel it and they
Yes.
sense it.
Yes.
And then it's purposeless. There's no
Yes.
fruit in it at all. And when you have a lot of kids, like I did, I had 3 back to back, you don't even really have time to stop and check for eczema.
Yeah. Or shoes sometimes.
Well, or shoes,
Yeah.
and you've just got to get through it. And you realize, wow, I did that.
Yeah.
We got through that. I've got 4 kids to show for it. And the little bobbles along the way,
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't stop.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to.
Yeah.
Having more kids kept me from doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a broken leg or ignoring something that was really serious on my child.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the little things that we can inspect our entire child's body, and there's a little eczema behind their knees, and we feel like we're a failure.
Yep.
Those are the things that we've got to let them go.
Yeah.
They come with parenting. There's going to be times they have diaper rash.
That's it. And
it's okay.
And
it's not a failure on you.
It's not a failure on you. It's just babies are crazy. Their bodies are fresh to this world. There's a lot going on.
That's right.
So, and the world's been crazy. It's not because of the pesticides and the GMOs. They've eaten junky food for centuries.
Right.
There's been worse civilizations, and kids have
Every
been
generation has its issues.
Yeah. And I'm now from I've married a Hispanic, so I could say this confidently. Do not put the panic in Hispanic. I'm going to say this again. If your child has a rash, don't run to the hospital, and please do not put the panic in Hispanic.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
That's really good.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
The baby will, if they're, when it's serious, oh my gosh, okay, now we should call the doctor. Actually, small tip, side note, practical tip, call your pharmacy, call WCS,
Yes.
call CVS pharmacy and call the pharmacist, go to the pharmacist, don't go to the ER and then pay for all that and do all that craziness. But a rash is a rash. It will go away in the next day. Like, if they have eggs and they break out, they will be fine. It is totally fine. It will go away.
Yes.
Just don't panic about every little thing, because you're right. It passes on to the child. And then I've seen it where children are panicking over the smallest things. And I'm like, I know why you're panicking.
I know.
Because I saw your parents freaking out about a little red dot you had on your face last week. You need to chill. You need to stop passing it on to your kids.
That's an Italian thing too, though.
Oh my gosh, yes it is.
That's an Italian thing too. It's definitely cultural.
Yes.
And Papa used to be that way.
Yes.
Oh my word. He would point. If you didn't see it, he'd see it on you and go, what is that? What is that? You need to get that. You need to. That's just the way some cultures are. And they want to be ahead of everything and make sure they're not missing something.
Yes.
And that's true. But when you're going to raise a whole lot of kids, you're going to have to be a whole lot more laid back than that, or you won't. You'll stop it too. You won't.
Yeah.
You won't be able to.
And me and Chris had this conversation the other day, my husband. We were talking about, what if you had a child that was so different from you, that didn't like anything you liked? What would you do? Honestly, what if my husband had a son who did not like hunting, that did not like cars? What if he was an IT guy?
Yeah.
And we got into this really good conversation, and we said, well, that's totally possible. That's going to be normal. I may have a daughter that's so different from me. Right. What if she doesn't like music? In Jesus' name, that's not going to happen. But I think the one thing that you want to communicate to your child is that you're going to be intentional with them.
Right.
So I bring this up because if there is a day that you accidentally miss a rash, or there's eczema and you miss it, it's okay. Because, or let's say in another, forget about the skin rashes. If they watch a movie that you didn't screen and they saw something they weren't supposed to see, and by accident you truly just it was a misstep, and now they were exposed to something, that's what's the word? Salvageable. That is salvageable.
Yes.
Because all you got to do is follow it up with a very intentional conversation.
That's right.
And sometimes that's even better than protecting them from every bad thing.
That's right.
Because not only did you teach your child a specific lesson, but you also showed them intentional conversations, which is all you have the older you get with your parents.
That's right.
And you have to.
It's funny. Your sister got a call in the middle of the podcast too, right about this time.
That's hilarious. I'm so sorry.
Is it Dad?
That was Simony actually calling me about Gianna. So it was a call about
It's time.
So what I was saying was the portrayal of intention to your children
Yes.
is so important.
And the conversation
And conversations.
That's right.
Because sure, we may be different in a few areas, but I want my kid to see I'm going to be intentional about our time. Chris said it, he said, okay, if he doesn't like hunting, but he likes to make videos, then come bring your drone while I go hunting and videotape
It's true.
everything.
It's true.
Let's meet halfway.
Yeah.
Because not only is that giving you alone time with your kid, but it's showing them intention.
Yeah.
And then we even talked about then when you get older and you're in your 20s, what all you have between you and your family and you and your parents is intention.
Yeah.
So now I'm living separately from you. We don't have this off time that we used to where I can
Right.
come home and just talk to you whenever I want. We can't go on daily walks.
Right.
So what do we have? I've got to be intentional and
That's
I've got to
right.
call my parents and ask them how they're doing.
Yeah.
And you can start training your children how to do that at such a young age. So even if you
It's so true that they come to you to ask.
Yes,
It's true.
yes.
And
Like
not
if,
their friends.
yes.
Yes.
And if there's a misstep, they saw something on the TV they weren't supposed to see. You had to then go to a doctor because you missed an eczema thing. It's okay because you're showing them intention by the time that they're actually remember it by 5,
Right.
6, 7 years old. And those are vital lessons that your kids are going to pick up. My dad, he was intentional about vacation time every summer.
Yeah.
My parents, they were intentional about dinner time conversations and talking about the hard conversations.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember I accidentally saw something on HBO at 2 a.m. when I was a little girl, and that traumatized me. But the next day, I was able to go to my parents and say, I just saw something disgusting. I saw something on YouTube I wasn't allowed to see. And we had the conversation about
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
it bonded my parents and I even more.
It's right. And we didn't shame you. We helped you walk through that understanding that these are things in life.
Yep.
That's not who we are. And I think what we are finding today is that the parents who are really nervous and uptight, what we're telling them through this episode, you said it in the very beginning, relax.
Relax.
You got this.
Yeah.
You're going to be great.
Yeah.
If you have a good support system or even if you don't,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be okay. We
Yes.
recommend a good support system. It makes things a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
But, parenting can be difficult, but it's not harder now than it was 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Parenting is an incredible gift.
Yes, it is.
It is a massive blessing to your life. Relax, build your family, and enjoy the process.
Enjoy it.
Because even though the days are long, the years are short.
Yeah.
So
I love
this was
that.
great.
I love it.
You are a lactating mom. You've got to
I know.
You got to go
I gotta
take
go
care of a
feed
baby.
my baby.
Okay, well,
But
this
yeah,
was
I
good.
love this conversation.
I do
And
too.
I guess I would just say find the moms that you want to be like.
Right.
And get around those moms.
That's good.
You're one of them. You
Oh.
are the peak mom for me.
That's sweet of you.
You've done it so well. And I go to you for everything.
Yes.
And there's probably 2 other moms that I really love and I want to do it like them.
Yeah.
And I truly of course, I do listen to everybody's advice. I take in everything.
Yeah.
I filter it. But go to the moms you want to be like, and they have the kids that you like.
Yeah.
And get close to your community and be honest. Be
That's
honest
it.
about a stressful day. Be honest about the mistakes.
Yeah.
Laugh it off and enjoy it.
Well, Steph, I have to say, this has been probably one of my favorites
Good.
because it's just good to sit and have this time to talk to you about what being a mom is like now. And I have been waiting for this day.
I know, it's
And
crazy.
I tell your sisters and your brother, I cannot wait for everybody to have kids so we
Oh
can
my
really
gosh.
sit and talk bad about our children. So there you go. Today, that is another episode. We hope you've liked it. Guys, listen, go back and binge watch and binge listen. We've got
Listen.
to listen. I've misspoken a lot. I have a sore tooth. That's what it is.
It's fine.
It's okay. Anyway, go back and listen. There's a lot of good stuff that we talk about on the family. We want to be a help. And if you even have something that you want us to hit, a topic you want us to tackle, please let us know in the comments. But share and like this and get the word out about this podcast. And again, thanks for listening. Have a great day.
Hey there, if you enjoyed this episode of the Family Business Podcast with the Alessis, then you'll want to know we've got more insight, more encouragement, more great conversations that we can have on Sundays, and even some surprises coming your way. So you want to make sure you subscribe to our channel and watch one of these next videos here next, because remember, family is everybody's business.